and welcome to a very special episode of the Assam Tribune. Today, during the last day of the year, we bring you all the top stories that made mark not only in Assam but in entire Northeast. So this is Shobhik Roy Chaudhary, and joining with me today is my co-host Shweta. Hi Shweta.
Hello.
So let's kick off today's episode with the controversial law of SPA, that is Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So Shweta, can you just take our viewers through what is AFSPA and how it has been impacting the lives of people in Northeast?
Yes, definitely. So AFSPA is a very controversial law which has been promulgated on 22nd May 1998. So it was imposed by the central government, keeping in view the insurgency of that has been going on since post-independence, I would say, in Northeast and also in areas of Kashmir, to be precise. And this draconian law has been affecting many lives. Previously, I would say there has been a lot. The insurgency could be curbed in parts of Northeast. However, there has been problem that the laymen over there are facing just because of the draconian law, right. Because of this draconian law. So, sir, can you please enlighten us further with the, from where about its inception, how it came, how it came into
existence. Yeah,
existence, yes.
Absolutely. So I would like to tell my viewers that for those who don't know, so AFSPA basically is a British legislation. So that came into effect to suppress the Quit India movement originally. It was issued by way of 4 ordinances in 1947. But in an act in 1948, that is post-independence, so this was a little bit modified and made into the AFSPA that we know as of today.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it was initially called the Armed Forces Assam and Manipur Special Powers Act, which was originally documented and formed in 1958. So later, some amendments were done to the law, but originally, if we come to the point where we want to tell what is AFSPA, AFSPA is something that gives unprecedented power to the armed forces stationed specifically in northeastern states and in Kashmir, where they can go ahead in disturbed areas and kill anyone acting in contravention of law and arrest or search any household without any warrant. And the biggest problem in that AFSPA law is they are protected from any kind of prosecution, which is allegedly led to a lot of human rights violations.
Yes, right? Absolutely. So we can take the example of Mon tragedy.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's one of the biggest incidents of this year.
Yes. So the Mon tragedy in Nagaland, and there has been no updates about the expulsion of the law in Nagaland. However, in Tripura it has been revoked in 2015, and in Meghalaya was under the rule for 27 years until it was repealed on April 2018.
Right.
Yes, and in fact last year on 1st January, the Chief Minister of Assam has promised that Assam, 60% of the state will see a repulsion of the law.
Right.
Yes, however, certain militant outfits have surrendered over the years or over the months, I would say.
Absolutely.
after coming into power, after the government came into power. However, having said that, I would also like to add that there has been reports doing rounds that Alpha and other militant outfits, they are secretly recruiting people.
Right. Yeah. And one point that you have mentioned is very interesting, and our viewers would also agree with us.
Yes.
That is, there has been a lot of surrenders happening with militant groups. A lot of militant groups have also, stopped their operations. The latest being, if I cite one of the examples, that is National Democratic Front of Bodoland, the Saurai Gora one.
Yeah.
They have signed a suspension of operations with the center, and they have come to mainstream.
Yeah.
And apart from Alpha, this was one of the major militant groups operating, from Myanmar and belonging from Assam. So with so many militant groups coming to mainstream, I think it's high time that we slowly start taking away AFSPA from Northeast, because the militancy problem has already gone down to a large extent after 2014. Basically, if I exactly want to cite, after the Narendra Modi government came into existence,
yes,
and a lot of BJP states came into existence, a lot of the militancy issues have come down. And all thanks to the development that is taking place. Obviously, when people don't have jobs, they're
yes,
unemployed, they're bound to go ahead and join militant groups to ask for their rights.
So as we were discussing, I would like to enlighten our viewers about the fact that the Ministry of Home Affairs this year on 1st April 2022 has taken a remarkable decision to reduce the law from certain disturbed areas of Assam which were once disturbed in the state of Assam, Manipur and Nagaland. However, in Nagaland, protests and talks and discussions have been going on about the complete repulsion of it. However, 60% of Assam is being exempted. The other 40% is yet to be exempted or expelled or repealed.
And one more interesting thing that I would like to tell our viewers, as you were already speaking about the protests that have erupted in Nagaland regarding the repulsion of AFSPA.
Yes.
So I have the Jivan Reddy committee report with me, and as per the recommendations, I think in November 2004, the central government appointed a 5-member committee headed by Justice BP Jivan Reddy to review the provisions of the Act in the northeastern states. The committee recommended that AFSPA should be repealed and appropriate provisions should be inserted in the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. And the Unlawful Activities Act should be modified to clearly specify the powers of the armed forces and paramilitary forces, and grievance cells should be set up in each district where the armed forces are deployed. Now, speaking of the grievance cells, I think this is the need of the hour, because there has been a lot of human rights violation being reported from various areas of Northeast, where allegedly many of the armed personnel have gone ahead and done fake encounters. A lot of rape cases have been coming up basically, and as you said, a lot of innocents have also fallen prey to this draconian law. So I think a grievance cell for the people of Northeast is a need of the hour, because there should be a mechanism set up where people can actually voice their concerns regarding the law that has been put into place since many years in Northeast, right? So if you can take our viewers through the next biggest news of the year.
Yes. Coming back to the next biggest story of the year is Alpha recruitment. So as our viewers might know about the activeness of Alpha, the military outfit which has been proactively working in Assam, or proactively
operational, I think, multiple places of Assam, and they have been mostly operational out of Myanmar.
Yes.
So their Supremo, Mr. Paresh Barua, has been demanding for an independent state, basically.
Yes.
Not only state, but an independent entity altogether. But this has been going on since many years, and in the recent months there has been multiple reports where a lot of recruitment camps have come up, and a lot of overground workers have come up where they have been trying to recruit fresh cadres for the militant outfit. So I think that is one of the major concerns, because in the past few years, if we see the data, the activity of Alpha had gone down, but in the recent months there have been a lot of recruitments going on.
Yes.
So that is one of the major concerns.
So yes, I would like to add something to this. With the army being moved out of the state, 60% of the state has been
declared free of AFSPA.
Yes, declared free of AFSPA, and the army who were being deployed in the region because of AFSPA, they are now being assigned to train the Assam police.
Okay.
Having said that, the repulsion of 60% in the state and rest 40% is still under the draconian law. So how far do you think the decision taken by the Ministry of Home Affairs has been feasible in this case?
Okay, talking about the feasibility, if you see, like a few years ago, there was a base camp. There was a major base camp in, I think, in an area in Myanmar bordering the Mon district of Nagaland, where all the cadets used to gather. From there, they used to go to several training locations in Myanmar and other places which are undisclosed. So that major base camp was destroyed. But as per the last news report that came out in Assam Tribune, a new base camp has come up. And reports, if reports are to be believed, for this new base camp, there has been a lot of recruitment going on to expand the footprint of Alpha and its operation in other parts of the state. But how far they have been successful, that we do not know. But if we are talking about the recruitment module, the National Investigation Agency carried out searches in 16 districts, 16 places in 7 districts of Assam, and it was a part of an investigation where they tried to unearth the recruitment drive that has been actively taking place in the state. So I would like to tell another thing. Basically, Alpha has been trying a lot to increase its footprints, because the last time I met the chairman basically of NDFBS, B. Sauraigora, after he signed the suspension of operations with the center and he came to mainstream, I got the opportunity to meet him. So when I had a candid conversation with him, where he said that Paresh Burua, not only it's about the recruitment of the people inside the outfit, but he has been very vocal in helping out other militant outfits also. Because B. Sauraigora told me that they had received cash and arms from Paresh Burua and Alpha during the time of struggle, because there had been times earlier when a lot of NDFBS camps in Bhutan and Myanmar were literally destroyed by armed forces. So they had to be constantly on the move, and there was a time they lacked arms and ammunitions and money to sustain operations, and that was the time when Paresh Burua helped Sauraigora and NDFBS with cash and arms. So that is something very interesting. So this basically shows they do not have any lack of monetary funding or arms. But the thing is, to recruit such young minds from the state is something that seriously needs to be taken into consideration by the government, and we need to take this misguided youth, and we have to go ahead, and the government has to come up with something through which they can be engaged into something. Be it job, be it self-skill development, be it any other kind of business opportunities, but they have to be taken and engaged into something useful that they can go ahead and make a mark in their life.
Yes, absolutely. So as we have discussed about AFSPA and now Alpha recruitment, so there has been news about police encounters that has done rounds this year in Assam. So Assam has reportedly recorded 161 incidents of police action since CM Himanta Biswa Sarma took the charge in May 2021, out of which 51 accused were dead and 139 others were injured, which has now increased to 54. So
let me tell you, speaking of the police encounters, I think after Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has taken his position, office, so there has been an unprecedented increase in the number of police encounters in the state. So if reports are to be believed, I have the data with me, Assam has occupied the 3rd spot in India in regards to death in police encounters. So many people have been saying that Assam has been following the UP model, basically the Yogi Adityanath model, where there have been multiple reports where police cars used to get toppled and a lot of criminals who tried to escape died. And there have been very similar cases like this in Assam also.
Yeah.
I think the most recent case has been reported today only, where one of the accused was shot in the leg when he tried to escape. So that is the fresh news that we have received in our news desk today. But I think Assam taking the third spot is something that is very worrisome,
Yes,
because above
absolutely.
Assam there are only two states, that is Jammu and Kashmir and Chhattisgarh.
Okay.
So Assam also has recorded the highest number of custodial and police encounter deaths between April 2020 and March 2022. So the question is, how do we bring these things under control?
Yeah.
So that is something the government needs to think deeply into, and there has to be some ways to reduce the police encounters, because
Yes.
there are ways to stop criminals from escaping. If we take examples from Western countries, they use stun guns, they use tasers. There are several other non-lethal methods to stop criminals.
Absolutely.
So it's not always the case where you have to shoot a criminal escaping,
Yes.
but there are other ways through which they can be trapped or caught.
Yeah.
We are no one to suggest that, but if we take example from other Western countries
Yes,
or other developed
absolutely.
countries,
Yeah.
there are a lot of other non-lethal ways also.
Yes.
Maybe fire rubber bullets,
Yes.
because there have been a lot of news that we have been covering that showed a lot of protesters in foreign countries, when they gather and get out of control, they are being shot with rubber bullets, which is actually non-lethal. And I think a lot of rubber bullets have also been used in the past in Kashmir, if I am not wrong.
Yeah.
So there can be provisions to bring such systems also in Assam, where police can be trained or can be armed with such non-lethal weapons, where they can actually use to stop criminals from escaping.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Yes. So, as we have discussed three main topics or three main news stories which are very relevant in recent times, I would like to now move on towards again a controversial yet very serious topic of ragging. So ragging, the case of ragging in Assam has been doing rounds recently, and it has came into light with the recent case of Anand Sharma, a student who is studying MCom in the university, has faced ragging from his seniors, and for which he had to take a step that resulted into his injury, that might have resulted into his death, but fortunately his life has been saved, all thanks to the government and the authorities and the stakeholders of the university. But the case of ragging, because the youngsters have taken ragging as a very what do I say? It's not
a very formal way of introducing the juniors. Basically,
it's a very they think that it's an introductory session. They term it as, or they label it as introductory sessions. But those introductory sessions turn out to be lethal sessions, just like this. So in Assam, not only in Dibrugarh University or Guwahati University or Cotton University or Tejpur University, in the Barak Valley as well, we have two major institutes. That not two, there are multiple in fact. The Assam University, NIT Silchar, it's Silchar Medical College.
SMCH, right?
Yes, Silchar Medical College, and there are also many medical colleges where students have been complaining about the same since the term came into being, I would say, because this has been some way or the other, basically the male counterparts of the society have faced this. There might be a section of female, I won't say that females have never faced, but it is more prevalent in the boys' hostel or in the men's hostel. If I would like to mention, like in the men's hostel, it is being seen more prevalent, and people have made a fun of it. So
I think that is something very interesting that you have said, and the main problem where I see is the students, the seniors,
Yes.
who basically claim this to be a very kind of formal, which actually is not formal way for them to introduce or take introduction of the freshers who join colleges. But most of the time this results to physical assault, mental harassment.
Yes,
this is something they do not understand. And freshers who go into college are already, you have to understand the mindset of the freshers. Because once they go into college, go into hostels, they are away from their family for the first time, right? Many of the students haven't been to hostels ever. This is the first time they are stepping out of their home after passing class 12, and that is the first time they are already scared of what lies ahead of them. And in that situation, if seniors from colleges go ahead and harass them like that, there will be times students will be compelled to take these kind of steps just like Anand Sharma did, right? And I think in the Dibrugarh University case, there was a prime accused called Rahul Chhetri, who was on the run for almost a week and later surrendered in front of Assam police. So, and if we look at the reports, there have been 4 students of the university have been rusticated for 3 years by the university, and another 18 students have been expelled for their alleged involvement in the case. So you have to understand the scale of ragging that has been going on. If there are 18 plus 4, 22 students involved in the ragging of a single student, so just imagine the thing that would have gone by. It's 22:1. There's no way Anand Sharma could have escaped through this situation.
So absolutely.
He is being, literally being tortured by 22 people. So I think Anand Sharma, what he did to escape was very...
I think the case of Anand Sharma is just at the tip of the iceberg.
Absolutely.
Because there are multiple cases that are hidden behind the 4 walls, that students, because they don't want to get involved in any sort of controversy or any sort of complexity, out of fear, they don't complain or they don't report. And there are many instances as such which goes unreported.
Right. And another interesting thing that you have said is most of the students fear to complain. Yes, because their seniors, most of the time, from what we have come to know from many students, that they are threatened by the seniors, and they are being told that if you go to the college authorities and complain, then we'll make your life hell in hostels. So out of fear, a fresher who has just stepped into college and knows no one, has no friends, will obviously get scared and won't go ahead to complain. So the complaint system that is in place in colleges and universities has to change. It has to be more fresher friendly. There has to be ways where freshers can anonymously go ahead and place a complaint against the people, and an investigation can be carried out. I think there is no provisions such as this as of now. So I think with this Dibrugarh University incident that has taken, I think it's high time we take example from such incident and amend some rules and regulations or some new and innovative methods of placing complaints for the freshers, so that they can also go ahead and not feel scared while placing a complaint. To this, I would like to add that the students studying in the institutions of such repute should take note, or they should be aware of the anti-ragging laws which exist in India, which has been put forward by the University Grants Commission. They should be very much aware of it, and I would say there is nothing to be scared or being afraid of. If you find anything as such going on in the hostel, remember one thing: if somebody is committing the crime, the other person receiving at the other end also becomes a criminal. So both ways it's a criminal offense. So the students also should keep this in mind, that if
certain things go unreported, you can also be behind the bars. So yes, this has been the case of ragging, and there has been reports from institutions in Silchar. They have already taken measures. Now the institutes such as NIT Silchar, Assam University, they have arrived to a decision unanimously that they will be building separate hostels for the newcomers, and the seniors will be kept in separate hostels, such that cases as such doesn't arrive.
That is a very welcome initiative by the colleges. I think keeping the freshers in a separate location from the existing students, or the seniors and super seniors. So that is a very innovative way of keeping the freshers safe. And I think not only that, even the college and university authorities also have to ensure that the seniors don't have access to these hostels when the freshers are staying, because if they're creating a different hostel for freshers, and at night or end of the day, if the seniors are getting unprecedented or unhindered access to the hostels, then it all comes back to square one. So it's of no use. So the authorities also have to ensure that the freshers are kept safe, and the seniors also do not get access to these hostels.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
So apart from that, I think another story that has made a mark this year is
and it is regarding an educational institution.
Absolutely. And coming to our next topic, I think another story that has made a mark this year is madrasa demolitions. So a lot of demolitions of madrasas have been happening in Assam. I think along with the demolition of madrasas by the state authorities, there have been one interesting case basically, where the villagers of Gwalpara have gone ahead and demolished a madrasa in Darogar Algachor. So basically, allegedly that premise was being used by two Bangladeshi nationals for terror activities. So as per the police reports. So the two Bangladeshi nationals, namely Aminul Islam and Jahangir Alam, are members of Al-Qaeda affiliated outfit, and they allegedly taught at the madrasa in Gwalpara between 2020 and 2022. So this kind of things coming to light is something very shocking. And the villagers that have gone ahead and demolished the madrasa, I think they have done a commendable job. They have not waited for the authorities. Once it was confirmed, they took the matter into their own hands. It's a commendable job, but again, I would like to suggest anyone not to take law in their hands, because it is the duty of the police to go ahead and find out who's the right one and who's the wrong one. All the villagers have gone ahead and demolished the madrasa, but again, I think what they should have done was inform the nearest police station. But apart from that, I think a lot of madrasas all around the state have also been demolished. So would you like to enlighten our viewers regarding the issue?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, there has been multiple cases that has been doing rounds across the state, and actually the case of madrasa demolition was first reported in the district of Bongaigaon.
I think it was the most controversial news of this year also, right?
And in fact, AIUDF chief Badruddin Ajmal also came forward, and he took a jibe at the government for taking such a decision, which according to their religion, or according to, in fact, it's for me, in my opinion, it's a human rights violation. I mean, there are young students who go and study there, but according to the government, they have been imparted, or the teachers there are imparting jihadi lessons to them. They are of the opinion that students are being taught jihadi lessons. So I don't know how far it is true that they are being imparted education on jihadi elements, but it is of a grave concern for me, because I am actually very much interested in education, students' education or children's education, because I think it's the basic fundamental right of every individual. So there are many students who will be appearing the Assam High Madrasa exam along with the high school leaving certificate examination. So what about the future of these students? What about the future of the students or the madrasas that are located in the remotest areas, in the Chorchapuri areas, in the river islands of Brahmaputra?
Right.
Yes. So you know,
if I'm not wrong, sorry to interrupt you, but
yes.
if I'm not wrong, if I can recall a statement given by Himanta Biswa Sarma, he
yes.
says that, you know, in madrasas, students will be taught religious activities and they will become Maulanas.
Yes.
But these students, if they go to schools and colleges, they'll become doctors and engineers.
Yes.
That is basically the statement given by
yes.
Assam
yes.
CM.
Yes.
But here the issue that you have raised is students are already, you know, preparing for high madrasa exams.
Yes.
What will happen to their future? Because
yes.
the schools, the madrasas are already destroyed.
Yeah.
So they have no way of continuing the
yeah.
study or appearing for that year.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So yeah, absolutely. That is one concern that the state government needs to address.
Yes. Exactly. So so yeah, I think keeping that in mind, that education is a basic right of every children or
right.
of every individual, the government should take certain measures or make certain decisions to compensate this section of people who are vulnerable, who actually belong to the subaltern society. And yes, madrasa demolition is a huge news, or has made a huge controversial news
right.
this year in Assam. So moving forward, our next topic is again another major issue, is that the Assam NRC.
Right.
So can you please enlighten our viewers about NRC that has been doing rounds in Assam since 2019 end?
Right. So speaking of Assam NRC, I think there was a national registrar
Yeah.
brought for the citizens,
Yes.
where all the citizens of the state, starting with Assam, had to enroll themselves in a national database,
Yeah,
basically, where you had to prove your citizenship, that you are a resident of Assam residing before 1971. 1971 was basically given the cutoff date because 1971 was the day when like East Pakistan became Bangladesh.
Yes.
Right? That was the day when Bangladesh was liberated from East Pakistan. So during that time, when East Pakistan became Bangladesh, a lot of displaced people from Bangladesh came into India and they settled over here.
Yeah.
If you take an example, if I cite an example from Tripura, a lot of people in Agartala and surrounding places were given shelter by the king during that, you know, early that time. And in the government also. So that is one of the reasons why this register for citizens were brought into place. But this has always been controversial because a lot of incidents and reports came forward from various areas where a lot of NRC centers actually took bribe to include name of Bangladeshi nationals into the NRC.
Okay.
So if we go ahead with the reports that are being coming from ground, so this NRC database is actually flawed.
Okay.
So that is something very concerning, because the main aim of this NRC was to identify who are the real people who were residing in Assam before 1971, and to identify those who came after 1971. But inclusion of names of people in illegal ways or different ways which were not ethical basically destroys the core principle of introducing NRC in the state, right?
Yes, so yes, that has been, NRC has been a complex issue that has been going on in the state for
And
quite
apart from that, I think NRC coordinator Pratik Hajela has also been under the scanner because there have been a lot of allegations against him for doing a lot of unethical activities. So he is right now under the scanner, and there are multiple cases and investigation going on against him. So if a coordinator of such a major registrar for citizenship, a major system, is alleged of doing such unruly activities, then it's safe to say that it cannot be, the process cannot be flawless.
Yes, absolutely. So we will quickly now move to our next big news, and it is not a big news.
It is big for the rest of the country, but this is something seasonal for us. Basically, every year,
and it's very common.
Every year, like the way you celebrate Christmas and New Year, it has become such a norm for the people of Assam, including us, is we get to witness Assam floods every year.
Absolutely.
It might be new for the national media. It might be new for people residing in other states, but this has been a long-standing problem for the people of Assam, where each and everyone has been suffering from the Assam floods that have been happening again and again in state. But there has not been any concrete solution from the center or from the state government. Yes, we do believe there are a lot of steps that are being taken, but there are no concrete solutions. Every year, lakhs and lakhs of people are displaced from their homes in Assam, and every year we cry for help, but nobody listens. This is not only our sorrow, but this is the sorrow of the nation. But we have not been giving that kind of attention, that kind of help from the authorities and center. Yes, there have been efforts being made every year to curb these problems, but since Assam have been receiving a lot of rainfall every year, so flood is something that is inevitable. So preparedness in advance is something that should have been done in all the areas that are prone to floods. But every year, even when we go out to cover news, our team has been in grounds when Assam floods have been taking place every year, and we have seen there is hardly any preparedness for the people during floods. So would you like to enlighten something to our viewers about the floods, and especially for the people who are watching from outside Assam?
Yes, I would like to mention it to our viewers, as Shavik has already mentioned that it is a very common problem that has been prevalent in Assam since time immemorial, I would say, and no concrete solution has been provided by the government. However, they are still trying relentlessly to bring on a solution, but the challenges are increasing day by day. Assam this year especially has received a record-breaking rainfall, and the entire city of Guwahati has been under this deluge, which has created a massive havoc among the residents, among the citizens of not only in Guwahati, in Assam, in the districts of Tejpur, in the districts of Gwalpara, in district of Nagaon, especially. People has seen there has been
I think I would like to bring the attention of our viewers to the biggest flood that has taken place in the state, that is Silchar floods. Silchar received the worst amount of rainfall this year, where the water level rose to the roof. Our correspondent, we have our staff correspondent in Silchar, and he was struggling to reach out to people, not only to report but also to help, while his own home was submerged in not knee deep, but the water level was still the roof, but still he somehow managed to send us news reports. So from the ground reports that we had received, there were people stuck in homes in Silchar where they did not receive food for days at a stretch. And there were some NGOs and locals that basically got hold of inflatable boats and then slowly started handing out potable drinking water, then some amount of dry food, breads and whatever they could lay their hands on. So yes, Silchar has witnessed one of the worst floods in many years, and I think it was the biggest flood. Of the state also, right?
Yes, absolutely. So flood, the government has been trying relentlessly, as I have said, and there has been no permanent solution. However, I am still in hope that the solution will be brought upon and the solution will be restored soon. However, the government has to come up with a very strong plan, I would say.
It's not only strong, but they have to come with a modernized plan to basically stop floods from occurring. Or even if there are floods, there has to be advanced planning from the state and the center to make sure that the people who have the probability to get affected due to flood are evacuated basically in advance and shifted to higher grounds where they will get shelter, food, warm clothes, safe drinking water, safe sanitation, and all the other facilities that is required for them to survive during the flood. So what we have seen is taking the example in Silchar, when there was continuous water and the Borak river's level was slowly going towards crossing the danger level. So there should have been steps already in place where the people who were affected should have been moved to higher grounds or should have been moved somewhere safer away from Borak river. So sadly that did not happen, and a lot of people from not only Silchar town but all the surrounding areas in Kachar were badly affected. Some elderly people whom our staff correspondent Arindam spoke to, they said that such kind of flood they have not witnessed in decades. This was one of the worst floods that Silchar has witnessed in decades. So that is something very shocking.
So, Shouvik, I would like to say that this incident is tracing me back when the Shiv Sena rebels actually came to Assam to take shelter in that situation of the year or of the time. So
that is something you have pointed very interesting, because that time when the Assam flood was happening, the Shiv Sena rebel leaders came to Assam, and the attention of the entire country shifted from the Silchar's flood situation to the Shiv Sena rebels who were seeking shelter in Assam and were deciding to form a new government.
Yes, and it has brought a major change in the political scenario of Maharashtra. After Eknath Shinde departed from Guwahati, he has taken the charge of the chief minister of Maharashtra after that. So I think that Assam somewhere has played a big role in bringing a change in the political scenario.
Yes, absolutely. If you look at the political scenario of Maharashtra, Assam basically played as the headquarters for all the planning that took place before Eknath Shinde took charge as the chief minister of Maharashtra. All the rebel leaders who wanted to join his team came, stayed here in Radisson Blue. You must have witnessed a lot of police security cover and a lot of national media, camping here for days just to know what will happen in Maharashtra next. So basically, the entire country had their eyes in Guwahati just to know what will happen to Maharashtra. So that is something very interesting.
And you know what, Shouvik? It hurts me. The national media was actively covering
They were on ground in Guwahati, but they did not move to Silchar to show the plight. But nonetheless, we as Assam Tribune have tried our best to cover the situation in Silchar. All thanks to our correspondents and ground reporters who fought the situation amidst such bad flooding, and they still went ahead and sent us news reports.
All thanks to them, and that's commendable, I would say.
And all thanks to them, because of whom we were able to report news from your headquarters in Guwahati.
So now coming to the last agenda, or the last big news stories, which...
So I think with the last agenda, let's end on a happy note. And we would like to inform our viewers that the Assamese Gamusa has been given the GI tag, and that is something we should celebrate, and this should be celebrated because it has been a long-standing demand from the people of Assam that gamusa has to be recognized. And
Yes.
if there was no GI tag, basically, if I cite an example, what happened to Rasgulla? Rasgulla is everybody used to know that Rasgulla belongs to West Bengal. But the GI tag was given to Odisha. Which basically proved that Rasgulla originated from Odisha. The same thing happens with the Assamese gamusa. If it was not given a GI tag, tomorrow other states would have claimed that gamusa evolved from theirs.
Yes.
So this has basically protected our identity to a larger extent, right?
Yeah.
So if you can just give a brief detail about when it happened and how it got the GI tag.
So yes, the mascot of Assam, and that is the Assamese gamusa, that received the geographical tag or the GI tag recently in December. And since time immemorial, the Assamese gamusa had been with us, and for any kind of celebrations we use Assamese gamusa as our pride. We take pride of Assamese gamusa. However, I would say that better late than never.
Right.
Yeah, it came to us late, but yes.
To be precise, if we want to say how late it is, let me tell our viewers, the claim for GI tag was filed 5 years ago.
Okay.
And we got the GI tag finally in December 2022.
So it's considerably late, I would say.
Exactly.
But yes, again, better late than never, we have finally received, and what better news it could be to end our year. So yes, last but not the least, the gamusa has finally received the geographical tag.
Right. So with this, we come to an end to our episode. So we tried our best to highlight the most important topics of this year that actually made big news, and we hope that you had liked this special episode. And with this, we are already at the last day of the year. And before signing off, we would like to wish our viewers a very happy New Year. Huh?
Yeah.
And before signing off, we would like to tell our viewers a very happy New Year. And with this, signing off, we'll be back again. Stay tuned to the Assam Tribune, and yes, do not forget to like, share, subscribe to our social handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. See you soon. Bye-bye.